Some sign that the White House at least maybe is reading the polls a little bit over the unpopular tactics being used in Minnesota. Here's Vice President JD Vance yesterday in Minneapolis.
What I do think that we can do is working with state and local officials, we can make the worst moments of chaos much less common. And all they've got to do is meet us halfway.
The Vice President conceded ICE has made mistakes, echoing recent comments made by the president about the shooting death of Renee Good. Vance also walked back his remarks from earlier this month that the officer who killed Renee Good had absolute immunity. Remember, he said that at the White House. Here is what the vice president said the day after Good was killed, followed by his comments yesterday.
The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job. I didn't say, and I don't think any other official within the Trump administration said, that officers who engaged in wrongdoing would enjoy immunity. That's absurd. What I did say is that when federal law enforcement officers violate the law, that is typically something that federal officials would look into.
So some clarification there, Jonathan Lemire. Larger point, though, JD Vance, the vice president, for him, let's just say, at least showing a little bit of concern, perhaps not about the tactics used by ICE or about the immigration policy, but reading some polls that show what they're doing is deeply unpopular with the American people.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something a little rich about the vice president suggesting the local officials need to meet them halfway when A, the federal government is completely taking control of the investigation into that shooting, refusing to cooperate with state and local authorities, and B, the federal government has opened up criminal investigations into local officials there, including the mayor of Minneapolis and the governor of Minnesota. But yes, there was some thought that Vance could go to Minneapolis to sort of inflame the situation. He didn't do that. We just played some of it. He spoke in more measured tones than I think some had expected. So joining us now, MS Now, political analyst, former U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill. So Senator, curious your read on this. Is it, the Trump administration, usually it's reflexive. They take criticism, they don't back off, they don't apologize, they double down. And it seemed like that has been the case in Minneapolis to this point. Do you suspect that could continue, or is this indeed the vice president and the political operation of the White House reading some polls and saying, maybe we need to change our tone even a little?
Well, what you saw yesterday is a candidate for president, not Trump's vice president. I think JD Vance is looking ahead and realizing that if he doubles down and tries to, say what's going on in Minnesota is just all American stuff, that really hurts him as a presidential nominee. So he's trying to, make stuff up like somehow the state and local people are responsible for this because they're not meeting them halfway. I don't even know what that means. What are they supposed to put masks on too? Is that meeting them halfway? Are they supposed to be breaking out windows and dragging women with their children in the car physically out of the cars? It's really what he was trying to do is change the narrative that somehow this is all because state and local people aren't cooperating, which of course is just BS. It's just not true. They haven't even been asked. I would say to him, if I had been a press person, had a chance to ask a question, well, why aren't you allowing the state and local people to participate in the investigation of the shooting? If the state and local people are so needed, why have you shut them out of what I think most people in America would like to see, and that is a real investigation over the use of force in a way that was inappropriate and cost an American citizen their life?